good morning, everybody. Thank you for waiting. All right, can you all hear me loud and clear? Yes. Okay, my name is Auntie Noma. I was asking you earlier on, how do you think the name Noma is spelled? And Shemilori, you did it very well, yes? So my name is Auntie Noma. It's N-O-M-A, not Noma, not Norma, not Noma, okay? So if you're looking for me on Instagram, which was missed out, there's AUNTIE.NOMA. So I'd like to get to know you too. My name is Auntie Noma, like I said. I love working with children. I'm actually an optometrist by profession, okay? I ran a nursery school for 20 years plus. Now I'm more into writing stories, developing contents for young children, writing, TV, radio, anything to do with children's content, put it that way. By the grace of God, I'd love to be in that space, apps and all that as well. So I've written some books. Okay, my very first book was this one. Like I said, I ran a nursery for 20 plus years. While running the nursery, I found that would have all these names from all over the place. Nothing wrong with names from abroad, but we also needed our own names so that our children can be well represented. You see somebody like you know. I have a little nephew-in-law in England. Whenever Peppa Pig is on, he's not tuned to it. But as soon as a Nigerian cartoon comes on, he says, oh, that's you, Grandma. That's his baby sister's name. That's me. He calls his name. He's able to relate with it. So that's why I got into writing mainly. And my children were all very young. They're all adults now. They're all grown up now. But I still kept on writing, maybe for my grandchildren now. Ooh, how about that? So, so I'll be doing a reading of this later, and I'm not going to go through that now. I'm just going to give you the idea of what I mean by writing stories. We talked about illustrations earlier on. Last speaker, Irene, did that. So that's what I mean. How many of you are good illustrators here? How many of you are good writers here? How many of you are both? Who can do write and illustrate at the same time? Okay, so I'd like to get to know you very, very quickly in 1 or 2 sentences. Just tell me your name. Tell me where you are at your writing journey. Have you written a story before? Maybe some of you have even published. Are you in the process of writing? Or have you never written? Okay, so let's start from this end. Yes, let's start from you. Okay, good morning, very quickly, just say, no good morning now. Just say your name. Quick. Quick. Because white. Yes.
I already authored the book,
French, wonderful. Okay. Yes, let's hear from you. Your name? You've written stories. Okay, wonderful. Abdul, can we all hear him? Say it like.
My name is
so much noise.
I've written some books, but I'm not published.
Okay, and let's hear from you, my dear, from King's Court. Shemilori. Okay. Okay, let's make it faster. Put up your hands again. If you've written a story or a book that has been published, put up your hands. Let me hear you. Okay, so when I ask you a question, you just say your name now, so we don't have to go through all that process. If you'd like to write a story and have it published, put up your hands. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to give you a short exercise. Do you have your paper and pen with you?
Yes.
I want you for the next 2 minutes to just write about anything. And I'll stop you after 2 minutes. Just write about anything that comes to your mind. Don't bother to go back and correct. Just keep writing for 2 minutes. Okay? I'm timing you. Okay, it's 11:49 now. At 11:51, I'll stop the clock. Start writing. Hmm? I'm so sorry. I thought we'll have tables. Can you manage? Can I give you something to put it on? Hmm? You're welcome. Okay, I'll give you an extra minute because we don't have tables. How are you going to manage? A 2-minute exercise, rather. 2 minutes. Just write, just keep writing. Don't worry, don't bother about correcting anything. Just keep writing. Is your Bible not working? It's a workshop, so I'm going to get you to do some work this morning. Can we have another biro? Okay, let me give you one I need to sign. Please, can we have some more pens? They are not working. Biros, yes. Thank you. Good morning. Hi, nice to meet you. You're the next Noma. You're the next speaker. Sorry, we're running a bit behind because I was moved back and forward. Yes, I was. Okay. Oh, that time has flown by. We have just 1 minute left. The extra minute I said I would give you. Okay. 30 seconds more. Okay, stop. All right, doesn't matter if it's not finished. You can stop now. Okay. I'm not going to ask you to show that to me after all that, okay? Okay, so let's listen to the next part. What does the... Okay, I'm not going to ask you to show it to me. Don't worry. Okay. How did you find that? Were you able to write? Who wants to say how they found that? How did you find that writing for 2 minutes? That's hard. Okay. Ada, how did you find that? Wasn't enough. Okay. Anybody else want to make a comment? How did you find that? You're not sure. How did you find that? Funny and challenging. Thank you. Okay, next, I want you to tell me, think about the phrase. That's the title of our workshop today. Winning hearts and minds. What does it mean to you? Okay, question mark there. What does the phrase winning hearts and minds mean to you? Very quickly, somebody who hasn't spoken, think about that phrase. Winning hearts and minds. Yes, well, tell us your name very quickly. What does your name mean? Because I didn't get your introduction. Come on. Okay. What's your name?
Mitchell.
Michelle. What does the phrase winning hearts and minds mean to you, Michelle?
It means like...
It means what?
It means like...
We're having some interference here. Can something be done about that?
Okay.
Yeah, shouldn't be coming. Sorry, we're listening to Michelle. Michelle? Is it Michelle? What does the phrase winning hearts and minds mean to you very quickly?
Let's say you write a book. And then it's about something. And something happens and nobody believes you. So you have to win over their hearts and minds.
Oh,
so they
wow.
can believe you.
Give Michelle a big hand. You see why it's so good to ask children? You get all sorts of perspectives from them. Did you hear that? You do something, maybe somebody doesn't believe you, you have to win their hearts and minds. Were you thinking of that? Yes, I can't say I was thinking of that aspect. Okay, well done. Let's hear another person. What does the phrase winning hearts and minds mean to you? Who wants to talk very quickly? It could be an adult because we need to hear from everybody, learn from. Can you share with us what does the phrase mean to you? Because it's meant to be an adults and children's for people. Yes.
Winning hearts and minds means making yourself
Yes.
story endearing to
Wonderful. Winning the hearts and minds of your readers. Wonderful. Any more? One more perspective very quickly because we need to move on. What does the phrase winning hearts and minds mean to you? Yes.
When you think of what the person might like and make the person interesting,
Wonderful. Thank you very much. What's your name? Yes, similar to what Auntie over there said. So winning hearts and minds. I think what we normally think of, okay, we're winning hearts and minds. You're writing stories that will win the hearts and minds of your readers. Not so. Not so. You want to appeal to their hearts and their minds, their emotions and their intellect, let's say, okay? How about thinking of it? So let's say winning hearts and minds. You're winning hearts and minds. That sounds to me like an action word, doesn't it? What's an action word called? A verb. You're winning, okay? So how about looking at it the other way? Winning hearts and minds as a noun. How about looking at it as a noun? Winning hearts and minds. How does that appeal to you? Winning hearts and minds. We're going to look at it from those two perspectives, okay? All right, let's look at some basics. How many of you have heard about those things we hear about when we're talking about creative writing? Who can tell me? Yeah, I haven't heard from you. Have you heard of these words before? Yeah. Setting, what's the plot, protagonist, beginning, middle, end. Okay, what is a setting? Who can tell me very quickly? Somebody else who hasn't spoken. What's a setting? Yes. Where acting on this place, where the story is taking place. What's the plot? Who can tell me what the plot is? Somebody else. Who can tell me what the plot is? Shemilore, can you tell me what a plot is? Yes. There's so much noise. We can't hear ourselves. Hello? What's a plot? The event of the story. The plot, including the twists and the turns. Sometimes you might add some very, very tricky thing. And maybe somebody is going happily along, and then something happens to turn that situation around. We call it what? A conflict? Okay? Yes? And then okay. So what's a protagonist? Who's heard that word before? Quick. Okay. What if he's not a good person? What do you call him? Okay. Or maybe your protagonist could be not a good. We'll come anyway. Okay. Did we cover it? And then in the story, you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm sure you all know that, so I'm not going to go into all that. So this is what I like to call my own story process. You have people calling all sorts of things like the resolution. But I like to think in alphabet, That's my book. So I call it the problem. You state your problem very early on in the story. This is a book I published in May this year. It's about a giant who's been asleep for a long time. He wakes up and cannot remember his name. That's the problem. So he goes all around the place asking the children, oh, please can you help me? My name, I've forgotten my name. And they say, oh, the sun is shining on your face. Why don't you go to the Sunshine State? He goes to the Sunshine State. Oh, he goes all over Nigeria, finds out that he's actually, I won't give out the plot. Anyway, so he has a problem. Yeah, we have 5 minutes more. So what's after the problem, you find out how to solve the problem. So for the giant, he went from one place to another. The reason I'm not using this to tell, this is actually the story I'm featuring. The reason I'm not using it is because it's not in a story line. This is more of an alphabet line. Okay, so I had to use that example. Anyway, so you now go through that, and at the end of the day, the problem is solved. The problem is what he had been looking forward to. So that's your basic writing of a story. So telling stories, what kind of stories do you like to tell? I'd like to hear from you. Okay. Fiction, yes. Fiction. Science fiction or any fiction? Science fiction. What kind of stories do you like to tell? What kind of stories do you like to tell? Right. Fiction. Everybody fiction? Fiction. Okay. Do you know that you can tell stories about the past as well? Because many of us are not. Oh, it's noisy. Please, can we be quiet? Many of us are not doing history in schools these days. You can tell a very creative historical story. Do you know that? You can also tell a story about today, like my son was giving me some ideas. People, civic education, people throwing rubbish out of the cars, you can write a story round about that, or you can even write a story that's futuristic in the future, maybe the year 3000. How about that? You can weave a story round about that. Hey. Okay, so we're going to do another exercise very, very quickly. It's going to be another 2 minutes, okay? Can we get ready? Okay. Okay, before we do that, I'm going to read you an excerpt. Since I started on that, let me go to that story very quickly. Okay, just listen to this. Listen to this, and then you're going to follow up with your own writing very quickly. Okay. Where was I going to? Okay, I think I was going to start from here. All right. All right, listen, everybody. Maya, 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 Lori Oluma. Maya, Maya, Maya. Clap for yourselves, okay? The school children chanted. They were proudly singing a song about the joys of being at the top of Olumo Rock, which was majestically seated on their beloved city of Abeokuta. The giant went up to them. "Excuse me, please," he asked. "Can you kindly help me find out what my name is?" "What's that in your bag?" the children asked. Giant looked in his bag and reached for a book from inside. The school children gathered round him to see the book. On its front cover were written the words, "Excellence." "Ah," the children responded, "you must go over to the Center of Excellence. You know what to do when you get there." Toot, toot, beep, beep, honk, honk. On getting to the Center of Excellence, you know where that is? Giant noticed that there were lots of cars and buses, boats and ships sailing in from the ocean, a train chugging along, an aeroplane flying over, and lots of people on the streets. Giant tried to cross the road. It was very busy. His heart beat very fast as he hurried to the other side. He walked up to a street hawker and asked her, "Excuse me, please. I've forgotten my name. Can you help me find out who I am?" The street hawker looked Giant up and down. My, you have a very strong heartbeat," she said, as she watched Giant's heart pounding in his chest. "The heartbeat of the nation must be the place to go." "Oh, thank you," said Giant excitedly. With that, he was on his way again, carrying his bag and holding his stick. He walked on along the highway to the heartbeat of the nation. He arrived close to dusk. It was a charming city, filled with the old and the new. Okay, so 2 minutes now. Can you get your pen and paper again? Okay. Can you follow on from that story? What do you think would happen next? 2 minutes. Were you listening to me? Okay, I'd like you to write for 2 minutes. Just keep on writing. Don't worry about mistakes or anything. Don't worry about going back. Okay, if you can draw to illustrate what you're trying to say. If you can draw a giant. Very quickly, draw a giant to illustrate what you're saying. Okay? Okay, are we writing? Where do we think our giant will go next and why? Where do you think our giant will go next and why? Do you have a pen? Okay, somebody's drawing. I can see somebody drawing. Oh, a huge giant. Oh, wow, I can see some artists here. Okay, you can draw and write a little bit of text rather underneath. Oh, wow, I can see somebody's written a whole page already. Wow. Budding writers we have. Can see some beautiful handwriting as well. Ooh, are you writing? Are you going to tell us what happens next? You're writing on your phone. You're going to read to us what you wrote. Okay, let's see. Shall we stop in about a minute? Okay, 40 more seconds. There is not much time to go into. But I'm sure this is just a start, okay? Shall we stop then? Okay, let's stop. Shall we stop? Stop. Okay, who would like to share their story with us very quickly? Who's brave enough? Come up here and read to us, okay? It's the ladies that are getting the medals today. Okay, read to us nice and loud, okay?
The name of my story is Lily.
The title? Yes? Okay, go on.
China. Chapter 1. That Lily is 5 years old when she was abandoned on Street, Lele 5, number 5, Lane. She hates pineapple and loves stories. Most of the time, she writes stories, and whenever people pass by, she tells them, and they love it. Soon, they were jealous and wanted to kill her, but she escaped and went to China. When she got to China, she becomes popular.
Oh, what's your name?
I know that question.
I know Olapa. Wonderful. You can write anything, no problem. It doesn't have to be about water. Well done, well done. What actually goes in your story, you can actually get locally as well, like my Akara and Ogi. But then you can actually stretch your imagination from that. So you can start from home, and then you can go into your fairy tale land if you want with your African stories. But you can write about just about anything, okay? Yes, are you happy with that answer? Okay, thank you all very much for coming. Yes, I can talk to you later on because somebody else needs to come in. Thank you.
Noma Sodipo, also known as Auntie Noma, is the author of Preschool Alphabet Book and a Treasury of African Names. She has hosted a number of TV, radio, and YouTube programs, including the award-winning Storytime with Auntie Noma, as well as Wazobia's Storytime, among other programs. She brings over 20 years of experience of nursery education and consulting for the early years to preschoolers and young children all around.